In a world where extraordinary stories often remain hidden behind closed doors, a remarkable tale begins to unfold within the walls of a grand mansion. Imagine this. A devoted CEO, successful yet weighed down by his responsibilities, discovers something unexpected about his twins, children who were born with challenges that would test even the strongest spirit. Deaf and unable to walk, they seemed trapped in a silence that left their father feeling powerless. But one day, as he stands frozen in disbelief, he witnesses a moment that could transform everything. The nanny, a gentle and nurturing presence, engages the twins using a simple object, a colorful thread that she has woven into their daily lives. This thread symbolizes not just connection, but the profound possibilities that lie within each of us. What happens next will challenge everything the CEO thought he knew about his children's potential. Why does this story matter? It speaks to the heart of what it truly means to see and understand those we love, especially when faced with seemingly insurmountable obstacles. It serves as a powerful reminder that sometimes the most significant breakthroughs arise from the smallest gestures of care and attention. As we embark on this journey, we will explore the bond between the twins and their nanny, the resistance from a world that often overlooks the extraordinary, and the pivotal moments that lead to an impossible act of love. Have you ever wondered how far you would go to unlock the hidden potential within someone you cherish? Join us as we unravel this touching tale of resilience and hope, where every thread of connection draws us closer to understanding the true essence of family. In the echoing halls of the grand mansion, silence often reigned supreme, yet within that stillness, something miraculous was about to unfold. The CEO, a man used to control and certainty, stood on the brink of understanding, observing as the nanny connected with his twins in a way that was both unexpected and deeply moving. These children, born deaf and unable to walk, had faced a world that seemed determined to isolate them. Yet here they were, illuminated by a bond that transcended words. The colorful thread, a simple yet powerful object, became a lifeline in their daily routine, bridging the gap between silence and understanding. It was a tool the nanny had chosen not just for its tactile nature, but for its symbolic significance, representing connection, resilience, and hope. As the CEO watched, he felt a mix of emotions, confusion, disbelief, and an emerging sense of admiration. What was it about this nurturing figure that allowed her to reach his children in ways he had never imagined? The twins, often seen as a challenge, were responding to her gentle guidance and the seemingly magical thread that wove through their interactions. The CEO had always focused on grand solutions, expensive therapies, and the latest technologies. But here was a woman who had tapped into something much deeper and more profound. This made him question his own approach and the barriers he had unknowingly built around his family. Had he been so blinded by his ambitions and responsibilities that he had missed the simple joys of connecting with his own children? Each day, the bond between the nanny and the twins grew stronger, marked by small yet significant milestones. The twins began to show signs of communication, their laughter filling the once quiet rooms of the mansion. This laughter was more than just sound. It was a testament to the nurturing environment the nanny had created, where they felt safe and understood. They were not merely children with disabilities, they were vibrant individuals brimming with potential. And the nanny recognized this in a way that inspired both the twins and the CEO to see beyond limitations. It was a subtle yet powerful shift, one that prompted the CEO to reflect on his own childhood memories and the importance of being seen and heard. Have you ever felt that same longing for connection? It's a universal desire that transcends any barriers we may face. However, the path was not without its challenges. The CEO's initial resistance to the unconventional methods employed by the nanny created tension. He had always relied on experts, believing their knowledge was the key to unlocking his children's potential. But as he watched the twins thrive under the nanny's care, he began to feel doubt creeping in regarding his own methods. The butler, a figure of tradition and order, echoed the CEO's skepticism, cautioning him that the nanny's approach might not align with the family's status and expectations. This institutional resistance presented a formidable barrier, creating an internal conflict within the CEO. Should he continue to adhere to a system that had yielded little success, or should he embrace the unknown, driven by the joy he now witnessed in his children? The tension reached its peak when the nanny made a pivotal decision to act, despite the fear of repercussions. She introduced the colorful thread not merely as a tool, but as a symbol of connection and understanding, inviting the twins to explore their world in a way that was both playful and profound. The moment she placed the thread in their hands, it was as if a door had been opened, allowing them to express themselves in ways previously thought impossible. The twins began to communicate, their small movements and gestures igniting hope in the hearts of those who witnessed it. The impossible seemed to unravel before the CEO's very eyes. How could this be happening? It was a revelation that filled him with both wonder and denial. How had he overlooked such a simple, yet impactful method? In the wake of this unexpected breakthrough, the CEO found himself grappling with a storm of emotions. Shock and denial washed over him, leading to accusations directed at both the nanny and himself. How could he have been so blind? This moment of chaos created an opportunity for reflection, pushing him to reconsider what truly matters in building connections with those we love. As the days turned into weeks in the grand yet lonely mansion, the CEO wrestled with a whirlwind of emotions that enveloped him like a storm. His twins were not just children, they were a part of him. Yet their challenges felt like an immense burden he carried alone. How could someone who thrived in the cutthroat world of business feel so helpless in understanding his own flesh and blood? This haunting question echoed through his mind, especially as he watched the stark contrast between his bustling professional life and the quiet, often isolating reality of his twins. Born deaf and unable to walk, they faced obstacles that seemed insurmountable. Despite his belief in determination and hard work, he found himself at a loss, grappling with feelings of inadequacy. The milestones that other parents celebrated felt like distant dreams in his children's world, where silence and stillness often reigned. His attempts to support them were well-meaning, but ultimately misguided. He surrounded them with the finest therapists and specialists, each promising breakthroughs that never materialized. After years of what felt like unfulfilled promises, disillusionment crept in. The mansion, once filled with the laughter of children, now echoed with discomforting silence, amplifying his despair. The expectations that loomed over him, both from his prestigious position and society, felt like shackles. He was supposed to be the one with answers, the hero in their story. Yet, with each failed attempt at progress, he felt less like a father and more like an observer. Amidst this turmoil, the nanny emerged as a glimmer of hope. Her connection with the twins was something he had never anticipated, an instinctive tenderness that seemed to unlock a world within them. Watching her, he felt a blend of admiration and skepticism. How could this woman, with her unconventional methods, achieve outcomes that highly trained professionals could not? The colorful thread she used during their playtime caught his attention. It became a lifeline, a tangible connection to the world around them. He often wondered if the love and warmth she infused into their interactions could truly make a difference. Could something as simple as a thread bridge the chasm created by silence? The CEO's heart tugged at the notion that perhaps he had been too focused on what was lacking in his children's lives instead of recognizing the possibilities that lay before them. He recalled a moment when the nanny gently wrapped the vibrant thread around the twins' hands, guiding them like dancers in a silent ballet. In that fleeting instant, he felt a flicker of something he had buried deep within himself. Hope. But with that hope came a wave of fear. What if the twins began to respond to her in ways they hadn't with him? Would it mean he had failed in his role as their father? The very thought was unbearable and led him to push against the methods that seemed to elicit positive responses. Driven by an overwhelming need to control the narrative of their lives, he began to scrutinize the nanny's approach. Every interaction became a point of contention as he questioned her every move. The rigid walls he had built around his expectations began to suffocate him, obscuring the truth of the situation. One particularly tense evening, he confronted her, his frustration bubbling to the surface. "I don't understand what you think you're doing with them. They need more than just playtime. They need real solutions." The nanny's calm response caught him off guard. Sometimes the best solutions come from understanding, not just from doing. Her words lingered in the air between them, a challenge that resonated deeply. It was in that moment that he began to realize how much he had missed in his relentless pursuit of solutions. Perhaps the real answer lay not in the complexity of therapies and interventions, but in the simplicity of connection and empathy. He found himself reflecting on his own journey as a father and recognizing the walls he had constructed, believing they would protect his family. In his quest for control, he had lost sight of what it truly meant to nurture and support his children. As he started to let go of his rigid expectations, he began to see the profound impact of the nanny's methods. The mansion, once a place of isolation, began to transform. Laughter echoed through the halls and warmth replaced the cold silence that had filled their home. The colorful thread was no longer just a plaything. It became a symbol of their journey towards understanding and connection, woven into the fabric of their daily lives. The CEO learned to listen, to be present, and to engage with his children in ways he never thought possible. Each day unfolded with new opportunities for growth, not just for the twins, but for him as well. They navigated the complexities of their world together, and with every small victory, the bond between them deepened. The moral of this unfolding story became clear. True care stems from listening, being present, and recognizing the potential within those we love, regardless of the challenges they face. For anyone who resonates with this narrative, it may be a moment to reflect on your own connections and the power of understanding and compassion. If this story touched your heart and you wish to explore more narratives that inspire hope and connection, consider subscribing to join us in reflecting on the shared human experience. As the CEO embraced this new chapter, he understood that nurturing relationships required more than just resources. It required love, patience, and a willingness to learn from those around him. As the CEO navigated this pivotal moment, he found himself at a crossroads. Would he allow his fears to dictate his actions, or could he take a step back and let the nanny guide him through this unfamiliar territory? Watching the twins' faces light up during their sessions, he began to feel a stirring within himself, a yearning to trust. The colorful thread they played with became more than just a tool. It symbolized the connection he so desperately desired but had yet to fully understand. It represented a bridge between their worlds, facilitating a form of communication that transcended mere words. As the weeks rolled by, something extraordinary began to unfold. Under the nurturing guidance of their nanny, the twins started to exhibit signs of movement and communication that had previously seemed impossible. The CEO's heart raced as he witnessed them responding to the thread, their small fingers reaching out, their faces brightening with recognition. It was a moment of pure magic, yet it was swiftly followed by a wave of confusion and disbelief. How could this be happening joyful moments were overshadowed by a wave of denial. He struggled to reconcile this new reality with the limitations he had accepted for so long. Caught in this whirlwind of emotions, the CEO confronted the nanny again, but this time something had shifted within him. "What have you done?" he demanded, a mix of awe and trepidation in his voice. The nanny, with her characteristic calmness, replied, "I haven't done anything but listen." In that moment, a light went on for the CEO. He began to understand that his children needed him to listen, to be present, rather than to control every aspect of their lives. As this revelation sank in, he felt a profound shift within himself. The weight of his expectations began to lift as he realized that he had been part of the problem all along. The systems he had established and the rigid beliefs he clung to had stifled his children's potential. He started to see that the real breakthroughs lay not in the impressive credentials of specialists, but in the simple acts of love, patience, and understanding. In the days that followed, the CEO took meaningful steps to make amends, not just with the nanny, but with his children as well. He began to actively engage in their sessions, embracing the playful approach that had once filled him with skepticism. The mansion transformed from a cold, silent place into a haven of laughter and joyful communication, with the colorful thread woven into their daily lives as a constant reminder of the journey they had undertaken together. The moral of this story became abundantly clear. True care stems from listening and being present for the people we love. The CEO learned that sometimes the greatest breakthroughs occur not through grand gestures, but through those small, significant moments of connection. As he reflected on this transformative experience, he invited others to consider their own relationships, encouraging them to share their thoughts in the comments. This was a story of growth, understanding, and the profound impact that simply being there can have on someone's life. And so, if you found resonance in this tale, don't forget to subscribe for more stories that spark hope and connection. As the days turned into weeks, the once muted echoes of the mansion began to change, largely thanks to the unwavering dedication of the nanny, Sarah. Despite the CEO's initial skepticism regarding her unconventional methods, she remained steadfast. With each passing day, Sarah utilized that colorful thread, a simple yet powerful tool, to weave a new narrative for the twins. It became clear that this journey was not merely about communication. It was about forging a connection, an intricate dance of understanding that transcended the limitations typically imposed upon them. The thread, initially introduced as a playful object, became a lifeline for the twins, guiding them from their silent existence to a vibrant life filled with expression, creativity, and joy. Sarah's approach was both playful and profound. She tied the thread to the twins' fingers, encouraging them to explore its texture and movement. This simple act sparked their curiosity and ignited a sense of agency within them. Imagine the moment when the twins, who had been confined to their own silent universe, discovered the joy of pulling on the thread, each tug resonating with newfound potential. Every interaction was not merely play. They were communicating their desires and emotions in ways they had never been able to articulate before. The CEO began to notice these small victories and felt a mixture of pride and urgency to support this newfound approach. Yet he grappled with reconciling these moments with the expectations shaped by years of conventional wisdom and expert opinions. He often found himself torn between the world of traditional therapies that had failed him and the unconventional path Sarah was guiding them down. What do you think finally opened his eyes to the beauty of this method? Was it the joy radiating from his children's faces, or perhaps Sarah's unwavering belief in them? As the twins grew more responsive, the atmosphere in the mansion shifted. The CEO found himself slowly drawn into the warmth of Sarah's methods. He began to witness moments where the twins reacted to the simplest gestures, the way their eyes lit up when they saw the thread being pulled, or how they reached out to touch it, their small fingers grasping it with determination. It was as if the thread connected them not only to the world around them, but also to each other. Through this experience, the CEO realized that Sarah was not just caring for his children, she was unlocking their potential, revealing layers of their personalities that had long been hidden. This realization stirred within him a cocktail of emotions: pride, guilt, and an urgent desire to support this new approach. However, the path was not without its challenges. Institutional resistance loomed large, particularly from the butler, a staunch traditionalist who often raised eyebrows at the unconventional methods being employed. "Children need structure, sir," he would insist, clinging to ideologies that had failed to yield results in the past. Caught between the butler's apprehensions and the transformative results he was witnessing, the CEO found himself at a critical juncture. Have you ever felt that push and pull between what you've always known and the new possibilities unfolding before you? It can be daunting to embrace change, yet sometimes it's in that very discomfort that we find the most significant growth. The CEO stood at a crossroads, and the choices he made next could shape not just his life, but the lives of his children in ways he had yet to fully comprehend. As Sarah continued to advocate for the twins, she often found herself navigating a challenging landscape of tradition versus innovation. The pushback she experienced from those around her was significant. Many simply could not see beyond established norms. Yet her unwavering belief in the twins fueled her resolve. She would frequently remind herself and others, "It's not about what they can't do, it's about discovering what they can." This became a rallying cry that resonated not just within her, but began to echo through the very halls of the mansion. It was a mantra that slowly but surely started to influence the twins. They began to laugh, crawl, and communicate in their unique ways, each small victory a triumphant note in the symphony of their journey. The CEO, witnessing these moments, felt an internal shift. He began to see his role not merely as a protector, but as a vital supporter of their remarkable journey. Then came that pivotal afternoon, a moment that would redefine everything. As Sarah sat on the soft carpet of the playroom, she tied a colorful thread around her own wrist, inviting the twins to join her in a simple game. The atmosphere buzzed with anticipation as they reached out, their small hands grasping the thread that connected them. Suddenly, there was a spark of something miraculous. The twins not only reached for the thread, but began to pull themselves up, determination radiating through the room. The CEO stood frozen, his heart racing as he witnessed what seemed impossible becoming a breathtaking reality. The moment was electric, filled with wonder and disbelief. Could it be? Was this truly happening right before his eyes? As the initial shock faded, a wave of panic washed over him. Questions and doubts flooded his mind. How could this transformation be happening? He felt a rush of emotions, fear of the unknown, the weight of responsibility, and a dawning realization that he had underestimated his children's potential. In that single moment, the thread became a symbol of hope and possibility, but it also represented the fragility of their journey. The following days were a whirlwind of disbelief and joy, yet the CEO struggled to fully embrace this newfound reality. He found himself questioning everything he thought he understood about his children and the care they received. As he grappled with these feelings, a verification process unfolded. Through deep conversations with Sarah, he began to uncover the systemic failures that had overshadowed his children's potential. It was a painful revelation, illuminating barriers created not only by external institutions, but also by his own blindness. The records he reviewed confirmed that the strategies he had once deemed effective were not only outdated, but had also been harmful in their rigidity. This realization marked a crucial turning point for the CEO, shifting his perspective from one of outrage to one of responsibility and understanding. What would you do if you discovered that you had unknowingly contributed to the problem? As the CEO publicly acknowledged the changes needed, he took significant steps to rectify the situation. He issued a heartfelt apology to his children for his previous neglect and embraced a new compassionate vision for their care. The mansion, once a sanctuary of silence, transformed into a vibrant space alive with laughter and meaningful communication. Sarah, once a marginalized figure, now stood at the heart of their family, her role validated and celebrated. Their reunion was filled with warmth, a beautiful testament to the healing power of connection and understanding. In the end, the mansion reflected the growth and transformation that had taken place within its walls. The colorful thread, once simply an object, became a profound symbol of hope, resilience, and the importance of truly listening. The journey of the twins, their nanny, and their father served as a poignant reminder that true care stems from being present and open to the possibilities that lie ahead. It teaches us that sometimes the most unconventional methods can lead to the most profound transformations. So as we reflect on this journey, let's carry forward the lesson of the colorful thread, one of connection, understanding, and the unwavering belief that every child deserves the chance to shine. If you find this story inspiring, we invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below and consider subscribing for more heartfelt tales that remind us of the power of love and care in our lives. As the dust began to settle within the once quiet mansion, the CEO stood transformed, his heart racing with the weight of newfound understanding. The shocking revelation of what the nanny had achieved with his twins, a bond formed through simple yet profound gestures, had shattered his preconceived notions about their limitations. The colorful thread had woven a tapestry of connection that transcended the silence and stillness that had defined their lives for so long. It was in that moment of clarity that he realized how crucial his children's unique perspectives were and how they could truly flourish when nurtured with love and understanding. The tension that had existed between him and the twins had been palpable, marked by years of missed opportunities and emotional distance. Yet now a bridge had formed, built upon the essence of compassion and patience. The nanny, once viewed merely as a caretaker, emerged as a beacon of hope, her own past struggles fueling her unwavering dedication to the twins' growth. The CEO had been blind to the power of small gestures, but now he understood that true progress often comes from the most unexpected places. The impossible had become possible, igniting a spark of joy in the twins that had long been dormant. As they began to express themselves, the mansion filled with laughter and light, a stark contrast to the cold silence that had once suffocated it. The CEO's heart swelled with pride and gratitude, a profound shift taking place within him as he vowed to wholeheartedly support this newfound approach. He recognized that his ambitions should not overshadow the needs of his children. Instead, they should fuel his desire to create an environment where their voices could be heard. The public apology he offered was not just a statement. It was a commitment to change, a promise to listen and to learn, ensuring that the journey of discovery would continue for the twins, with their father walking alongside them every step of the way. The reunion with his twins was a moment steeped in healing, reflecting the profound warmth and connection that the nanny had nurtured. As the family embraced, they created a tapestry of unity, a powerful reminder that love can bridge even the widest gaps. This journey illuminated a vital truth. True strength is not merely the absence of challenges, but rather the courage to confront them with an open heart. Each moment that led to this realization underscored the significance of fostering the bonds that tie us together. For those of you watching this story, let it inspire you to reflect on the connections you share with your loved ones. How often do we embrace patience and understanding in our daily lives? As you carry these lessons forward, remember that even the smallest acts of love can spark monumental change. If this journey resonated with you, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights can enrich this conversation and inspire others. And if you wish to explore more stories that highlight the transformative power of compassion and connection, consider subscribing. Together, let's weave a narrative of understanding that enhances our lives and the lives of those we cherish.